Hey everyone, you are listening to Locked On Now NHL, local experts on the biggest stories around the ice. I am your host, Kim Becker, and thanks so much for making us your first listen every weekday. We've got our Locked On NHL host here to tell you everything you need to know from around hockey last night. And our best performance of the night came in Chicago when Colorado Avalanche's Cale Makar had a highlight reel goal to beat Chicago in overtime. Our Locked On Avalanche and Locked On Blackhawks host tell you more.
The biggest game.
The Colorado Avalanche and the Chicago Blackhawks skate to a very exciting and entertaining game. The Colorado Avalanche get the extra point as the game goes to overtime. They win it 4-3, but all anybody is going to be talking about in this one is the move that Cale Makar put on Kirby Dach to win this thing for the Avalanche. If you haven't seen it, seek it out. It is everywhere. You can find it on your social media platform of choice. It is incredible. It is a goal of the year nominee. Not going to say it would win it, but it is absolutely incredible. It's an incredible move by anybody in the National Hockey League. For a defenseman, I think it ups the ante a little bit. And he is only helping his case as a very strong Norris Trophy winner. Incredible game, back and forth. Avs with a 2-0 lead. They lose it. They go down 3-2. They tie it. Obviously, they go to overtime. And like I said, they get the win. But like I said before, this is all going to be about Cale Makar for the next 24 to 48 hours because that move was absolutely incredible.
What a game. What's up, everyone? I'm Jack Bushman from Locked On Blackhawks tonight. The Chicago Blackhawks unfortunately came out on the wrong end of the final outcome once again, losing 4-3 in overtime to the Colorado Avalanche, extending their losing streak to 5 games now. But at least it was fun to watch. Unlike their back-to-back losses where they got blown out over the weekend, this was actually one of the most entertaining Blackhawks games I've watched all season long, and the first time in a while where I had a smile on my face watching them play. And it's interesting that was the case after a dreadful first period. I mean, the Blackhawks came out looking terrible. Colorado jumped ahead 2-0 early. They were entering the offensive zone at will, moving the puck around and basically doing whatever they wanted to the Chicago Blackhawks. And I don't know what Derek King said to his team during the first intermission, but it like a flip of the switch, the Blackhawks looked like a new team in the final 40 minutes, and they put together a really solid effort against a Stanley Cup contender and the team with the best point percentage in the Western Conference coming into tonight. They were able to tie the game and then take the lead with 2 power play goals in 40 seconds from Alex DeBrincat. That now gives him 20 goals on the season, trailing only Alex Ovechkin and Leon Draisaitl. He continues to prove that he's already a special talent at such a young age. That gave the Blackhawks a 3-2 lead. Unfortunately, Colorado knotted the score in the third period. This one headed to overtime, and then Cale Makar, a special player, making a special play, leaves Dach in the dust, and then goes backhand, forehand, backhand pass flurry for the game winner. Just nothing you can really do about that one. A special player making an elite type play. I feel bad for Dach, but there's nothing he really could have done differently. Unfortunately, that's just Cale Makar showing off his talent. He's elite, and the Blackhawks, after putting together such a strong effort, unfortunately still come out on the wrong end of the final outcome, losing 4-3 to the Colorado Avalanche. For more coverage on tonight's loss from the Hawks, be sure to check out tomorrow's episode of Locked On Blackhawks, your team every day.
And now let's go around the league of the NHL.
Let's go around the league.
The Boston Bruins are finding a groove to start the new year, and a vet snapped a long scoring drought in the big win. Locked On Bruins fills us in on that goal and all the others in the Boston win over New Jersey.
Make it 3 in a row for the Boston Bruins after they defeated the New Jersey Devils by a score of 5-3 here on Tuesday evening. This is Ian McLaren, host of Locked On Boston Bruins, and the big story in this one was David Pastrnak with the late third period goal, ending a lengthy goal drought dating back to the month of November, lifting the Boston Bruins to the win and extending their perfect win streak here in 2022 to 3 games. Earlier in the day, Jake DeBrusk was placed in COVID-19 protocols. Oscar Steen came in the lineup and played well once again. And the Bruins, again, backed by Linus Ullmark, getting the victory over New Jersey. They had the lead 4 times in this one. 1-goal leads allowed the Devils to tie things up on 3 separate occasions until David Pastrnak's goal, which an exclamation point was put on by Brandon Carlo very late in the third period to make it 5-3. Do subscribe to Locked On Boston Bruins wherever you get your podcasts to get all the latest on the black and gold.
The Florida Panthers came out hot on offense again and put 6 goals in the back of the net on the Calgary Flames last night. Locked On Panthers tells you how Florida put together the scoring spree at home on Tuesday.
Not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, but 6 goals for the Florida Panthers against a really great Calgary Flames team, while the Florida Panthers were missing 2 players in their top 6. What is up, guys? This is Armando Velez from the Locked On Florida Panthers podcast, and the Florida Panthers have defeated the Calgary Flames by a final score of 6-2 in Sunrise, Florida. Brandon Montour gets a career high in points with 3. The Florida Panthers get 2 power play goals, and now with a team that has struggled on the power play, they have scored in 3 straight games on the power play and 4 power play goals total during that stretch. 11 straight periods that the Florida Panthers have scored a goal in. What an incredible run, while scoring 5+ goals in 12 of 21 home games this year, while going 18-3-0. And oh my goodness, this Florida Panthers team on the forecheck tonight was amazing. They found a way to just dominate in the Calgary Flames zone and caused so many turnovers, especially on that Patrick Hornquist goal, which was the beauty of it all. And Ryan Lomberg, he scores against his former team, says it's not that big of a deal. A win is a win for the Florida Panthers in this one. So that's really what matters. Sergei Bobrovsky goes 47 of 49, including stopping the last 39 shots on goal for Sergei Bobrovsky, so 47 of 49. Incredible stuff by Sergei Bobrovsky. After the long holiday break, the Florida Panthers sweep the homestand, 24 goals in 4 games, averaging 6 per in this homestand. What an incredible run for this Florida Panthers team as they're getting ready to pack their bags and hit the road before they face off against the Dallas Stars on Thursday and then heading to Carolina this Saturday. So to listen to my recap of tonight's 6-2 win against the Calgary Flames, make sure to listen to my recent episode of the Locked On Florida Panthers podcast, your first listen of the day.
The Detroit Red Wings also scored 6 goals at home last night. Theirs coming with help from a pair of shorthanded goals against the Sharks. Locked On Red Wings and Locked On Sharks recap a pretty weirdly dominant win for Detroit.
The Detroit Red Wings roll to a dominant 6-2 victory over the San Jose Sharks, ending their homestand on a good note after dropping the last 2 here this past weekend. Goals from Tyler Bertuzzi, who had 2, one of which was a shorthanded goal. Pius Suter, who had 2, one of which was a shorthanded goal. You're starting to notice a trend here. Dylan Larkin also had one, a nice shot from the right side. And then Robbie Fabry got on the board as well. Just an overall stellar performance from the top line all the way down through the roster. Michael Rasmussen on the second line had a pretty solid game. Overall, just a great game all the way around and a great way to end the homestand as they head off to the West Coast to fight the San Jose Sharks again on that 3-game road trip. So stay tuned to Locked On Red Wings.
The Anaheim Ducks won at home as well, thanks to a first-time hat trick from Troy Terry. Locked On Ducks was there at the game in Anaheim and lets you know what you need to know from the Ducks side post-game. And Locked On Flyers is in for the other side of the story as well.
Troy Terry is not just good at hockey, he's mighty good at hockey. Hi everyone, Jason JD Hernandez from Locked On Anaheim Ducks. The Ducks pulled off a 4-1 victory over the Philadelphia Flyers, their first victory in 20 games and their first win of the calendar year. And it was all about John Gibson and Troy Terry. John Gibson stopped 28 of 29 shots, some of them of the spectacular version. And normally John Gibson, he'd be the player of the game if it wasn't for Troy Terry, who scored a hat trick. That's right, a hat trick. 3 goals on the night. That puts Troy Terry at 21 goals in the season. And that last one, an empty netter, brought the house down. Everybody celebrated with him. Troy Terry is starting to become the kind of player that can take over a game and put a team on his back. Troy Terry is quickly becoming the kind of player that the Ducks were hoping for and quietly becoming a superstar in this league. Oh, and by the way, only two players in the NHL have more goals than Troy Terry right now. Leon Draisaitl and some guy named Alexander Ovechkin. Troy Terry should be an all-star in the National Hockey League for the Anaheim Ducks. Tune in to Locked On Anaheim Ducks tomorrow on the Locked On Podcast Network for more on the Troy Terry hat trick. Let's toss the hats. Toss the hats. Woohoo! Just toss them all around. Toss the hats. Toss them, everyone. Toss the hats.
The Nashville Predators took a 3-0 lead in the third period, but only won by a single goal against the Golden Knights. Locked On Predators recaps the closer than expected big finish.
After a rough start back after the holiday break, the Nashville Predators headed to Las Vegas to take on a very hot Vegas Golden Knights team tonight. Would the odds be in Nashville's favor? Hi everyone, I'm Ann Kimmel from Locked On Predators. Tonight, the Nashville Predators took on the Vegas Golden Knights, a team that has won 10 of their last 13 games. This was a game everyone knew was going to be physical and hard-hitting, and it was. It took the second period to get the scoring started. Filip Forsberg scored the first goal just 3 minutes into the second period. About 5 minutes later, Yakov Trenin added to the score on a tip-in goal, compliments of a shot from Phil Myers, making the score 2-0 and giving Philip Myers his first point, the assist, as a Nashville Predator. The third period opened up with more physical play, and then Filip Forsberg struck again with a filthy move around Alex Pietrangelo to make the score 3-0. This Vegas team, though, is tough and resilient, and they battled back, scoring their first goal to make it 3-1 with 8 minutes left. And then on a empty net 6-on-5, scored again, making the game 3-2. The Nashville Predators buckled down against a last-minute assault and were able to hold off the Vegas Golden Knights, winning this game 3-2. Nashville cashed in their chips, and they're leaving Vegas with 2 points, heading out to Los Angeles, where they're going to take on the LA Kings on Thursday. We'll have your complete game breakdown tomorrow morning on Locked On Predators.
That's a wrap for us. Thanks so much for making Locked On Now your first listen every weekday. For more on the National Hockey League and your favorite team, make your second listen Locked On NHL and your team's Locked On podcast. I'm Kim Becker. This has been Locked On Now. Locked On, your team every day.